Right. It's Wrestlemania week, and
Yes.
we're going to talk about some of our matches that we're
Here
looking
in
forward
Los
to.
Angeles, California.
Yeah, Jeff's backyard. But before we
Going
talk
to
about those
nothing.
matches, and we got some feedback from people in the Fight Game
Okay.
Discord and
Yeah.
and even on the Fight Dynasty Facebook group. But first off, you had mentioned a topic you brought up that you want to talk about, and it's how AEW is using some of that media attention that's on wrestling in LA and using it to shine some light on them.
Well, not only that, but AEW has done, or WWE has done a really sneaky counter.
Okay, I don't think I'm
too.
aware of
And
whatever
you
you're
don't know,
talking about
and
here.
I haven't talked to you about this yet.
Mhm.
But in today's LA Times, there's a big story on how AEW is taking on the WWE
Right. Yeah.
right in the heart of Mania week.
Yeah.
That story was planted by AEW PR, and good on them.
Yeah.
They're firing shots across the bow.
Yeah, that's how this topic came up.
Yes.
Right.
Also this week though, Meadowlark Media, which is Dan Lebitard, formerly of ESPN, is having interviews with WWE people. Now, up until now, mostly due, I think, to Dan's personal politics, but it had mostly been the playground of Chris Jericho and Tony Khan, and I think Mox had been on the show once.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, Tony Khan's been on there a lot of times to
Really?
plug AEW, to heavily, but now we and Lebitard's no longer associated with ESPN, so it's not the WWE ESPN synergy. It's there was an interview with Cody on there today on Lebitard, and I believe Charlotte was on there a few days ago. So that and Meadowlark Media,
listeners,
those are very. I mean, it's a top 2 sports podcast, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, they're getting like the top people in AEW or in WWE.
In WWE,
Yeah.
and that's kind of an interesting counterbalance. There's a lot of there's things that AEW is doing this week that's like the ROH show still running.
Yeah,
on Mania weekend in LA at the Galen Center,
and they
near UCLA.
I think, didn't they sell, like, I think it's their second or third biggest attended show ever. It's going to be.
It probably will be.
6,500 tickets sold.
Yeah. So AEW isn't exactly counter programming, but there's a lot of AEW talent that's sponsored by certain vendors at WrestleCon too.
Well, and it's funny because if you look at ROH as, does that company make money? I mean, it depends on whether or not you have to write off the money that you're paying the AEW talent to appear on that show.
Yes.
And then the amount of pay-per-views that they sell, and I'm sure they're going to do pretty well. I mean, it's a loaded week, but everybody that I talk to, and we'll get into the matches in a few minutes, but everyone's looking forward to this ROH card. I mean, the people I talk to, they're saying even more than Mania, but I mean, obviously,
I'll make it even more interesting because Tony Khan just announced a new match.
Oh, what's that?
Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia.
Oh, that was a good build for that today.
Yeah. Wait, Jeff, is that you? Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Dalton Castle and the boys, like, are they written off?
Here's the thing about Mania shows. I love the Mania weekend, but after I did the first one, I had to learn I'm not getting necessarily the 100% effort on all these shows.
Yeah.
Because guys are doing 5 or 6 shows a weekend.
Or 9. I think Mike Bailey's wrestling like 9 times.
Yes, and I love Mike Bailey to death, but
he's going to go 100%.
Mike Bailey is a guy who's going to go all out on every show. I get that.
Is another one.
Yeah. But it's just funny because it's just like, you'd go to like the New Japan, Progress would have a show, New Japan, and you're getting the Minoru Suzuki match, and you're getting Tanahashi at 50%, and you just have to learn to, hey, and you have to learn to kind of give up your work rate thing and just go, I'm just happy to see these guys live because I've never seen them live, type of a thing.
Last year I was in Dallas, and I ran into Filthy Tom Friday night, I think it was, and he'd had a couple matches already, and he's walking around like he's limping, like, he's feeling it. And I think he had one more match left the next day, and so he was, he wasn't sure how he was going to do, but he was, hoping he was going to be okay. And then the next day after that, with Emily, I met Becky and Seth. And Seth had his match with Cody the night before, and he was kind of walking around like that too. And I kind of had mentioned, yeah, like, oh man, that must have been pretty rough. And he's like, yeah. And then I mentioned Tom, and and he's like, oh yeah, what's his name? Like I think he had a different name, like, but it was close to Filthy. And he's like, the former MMA guy, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I said, yeah, he's wrestled a bunch of times. He's like, yeah, he's living it. He says, I just go all out for the one match. And I mean, that's it, right? Like when you Mania, like it's your highlight of your year.
Yeah, so. and for the lower guys, I mean, look,
yeah,
you never know who's in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's like it could be an audition.
Yeah,
it probably isn't for a lot of these shows, but it could be. And now that Fight TV is broadcasting a lot of these shows, it's
almost all of them. I'm looking forward to that. So speaking of which,
yes.
There's a huge lineup of shows. I don't have the lineup here, and it really doesn't matter because I could rattle off a bunch of card names, and you're not going to remember them in 2 minutes.
No.
But what are so considering all the shows? We got ROH, we've got TNA Multiverse, we've got GCW, we've got Bloodsport, we got WWE and NXT and all that. Yes. What are the matches you're most looking forward to this weekend?
All right. Please hold your applause until all the matches have been said. Okay. Starting tomorrow on TV, previously taped, because I'm counting that too. Ring of Honor. Athena versus Emi Sakura. I am here for that, baby.
That's being taped tonight, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay, I
think
for
so.
That.
I could be wrong.
So
but I think
looking
it's
forward
tonight.
to that. I want that match so bad, and then I want Queen Amidala versus Queen Emi Sakura. That yes, but for the other shows that are actually here in Los Angeles or thereabouts, Bloodsport: Kota Ibushi versus Mike Bailey, Marina Shafir versus Killer Kelly, Josh Barnett versus Tim Thatcher, because Josh Barnett always brings it for his own show. On the Mark Hitchcock show, AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Taurus versus Commander. That's gonna slap. I'm sorry, that's gonna be awesome. NWA Impact show, Tanahashi versus Mike Bailey. I love Mike Bailey. Everything he's in. I want him signed
Tanahashi's greatest hits. Yep.
I don't care if it's Tanahashi's greatest hits.
Awesome.
Mike Bailey's going to be awesome. On the Ring of Honor show, Athena versus Yuka Sakazaki.
If Athena wins tonight.
And if she
doesn't,
I'm fine with Emi Sakura versus Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah.
Because those are my two faves right now.
They can go to a draw and you can have a 3-way.
And then also for the AAA Mega Championship, assuming he wins, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Commander. I'm cool with that. Spring Break, Joey Janela's El Hijo del Vikingo versus Mike Bailey.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Give that to me. Yes.
Oh, I'm watching that show.
Yes. Spring Break is always, I went to the first two and those are always fun shows.
When is that one? Is that Thursday night or Friday night?
I believe it's Friday.
At like midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah, very, very late. And then Maki Death Kill, Maki Ito and Nick Gage versus Bussy, Effie and Ali Catch. That's going to be pure stupidity. And then the Battle Royal with the Invisible Man and Invisible Stan and hopefully Goldberg. I'm here.
Yeah. Who knows?
And then the WWE centric shows, the NXT men's ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. All 5 guys can go. There's no big guy that's there to
oh
be
my God. From. I thought when you mentioned that you were looking forward to the 5-way ladder match, I thought you were talking about the women.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm talking the men. That thing. Wesley.
Yeah. Because that women's match is terrible.
JD McDonough, Ilya Dragunov, and Dragon Lee. Yes.
Yeah. Wesley, Dragon Lee, Axiom, Dragunov.
The Lee brothers.
Yeah, the Lee brothers. Cousins.
And of course on WrestleMania, Usos versus KO and Sammy. I'm looking forward to Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. I think that match is going to have some awesome high spots. And then another shot across AEW's bow when WWE crowns Cody Rhodes, the prodigal son, as champion, hopefully, against Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think Roman's winning that, but okay. I
do that. It's just the stupidest thing they could do.
I had a much smaller list.
I'm sorry.
And no, that's fine. I'm glad because you pointed out some matches I want to see now, and maybe some listeners too. So for me, I got the Impact Multiverse, the 4-way women's match. Giselle Shaw, Masha Slamovich, Deonna Purrazzo, and Mayu Yamashita.
Yes.
And then on the ROH Supercard of Honor, I've got the Reach for the Sky ladder match with the 5 teams. Top Flight, Lucha Bros. Can't remember. I think they're all brothers, right?
Aussie Open, I believe, is in that, aren't they?
Yeah, except Aussie Open aren't brothers, but I think you're right. And
Are
yeah,
the Kingdom in there?
yeah, the Kingdom are in there too. Yeah, and Top Flight, right? Did I mention
Well,
Top
no,
Flight?
you said
Yeah.
Top Flight. So
Top Flight,
who's the
Lucha
fifth?
Bros, Kingdom, Dralistico and Dragon Lee.
Okay.
Or no, Dralistico and Roosh.
Dralistico and Roosh, yeah, that's right.
And then also Wheeler Yuta and Katsuyori Shibata on that show are the ones I'm looking forward to. And then on for WWE, there's a lot I'm looking forward to, but the one I'm most looking forward to is KO and Sammy.
Yeah,
going for the tag team titles.
I think everybody gets what they want this weekend for WWE, and they pay off these stories. I'm sorry, I know nobody. I know there's a lot of bitter AEW fans who don't like Cody, but I think I think this Bloodline story has been one of the best things in wrestling in a long time.
So I asked this question in the Fight Dynasty group, and I'll just read some of the answers. So David Lavelle says the whole ROH show and the tag team title match at Mania.
Like Mark Briscoe, Samoa Joe is going to be very good too.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging anything on that ROH show.
No. I mean, I just picked one, but I mean, there's a lot of great stuff on there. I mean, we didn't even mention Vikingo and Commander on that show, right?
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay, because I know you mentioned it on a different show, but right, yeah, you did. You're right.
No, there's a three-way with Taurus in it, and then there's the one-on-one just with Vikingo and Commander.
Ryan Fantasia, Austin Theory, and John Cena. Believe it or not.
You know what? That could actually be pretty good.
I'm expecting Randy Orton to come back at the end of that match.
I'm fine with that too.
Maybe. Yeah, I think Theory's celebrating, and he gets hit with an RKO out of nowhere. Randy's music plays, and he hugs Cena, and they walk off together.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Daniel Q, my buddy. Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome too.
Yeah, and Roman and Cody as well. Rich Bagoo, who is also a wrestler. The ROH show, specifically mentioning Eddie, Claudio, Shibata, and Yuta, and Briscoe match. Mm-hmm. And Deborah Lynn says she's going to try to watch as many speedball matches as she can. And she thinks she's going to see at least 2 of them live. So she's on her way to LA right now, I think.
Oh, cool.
Aaron Stone's looking forward to Edge's Brood entrance. And rumors that we're going to see Christian. And I'm here for that. And in fact, I could see if KO and Sammy win the tag team titles, I could see Edge and Christian against KO and Sammy down the road on one of these PLEs. You're questioning this?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Christian's contract up?
He debuted 2 years ago at Revolution, so could be. I mean, unless they tacked on injury time.
Here's the thing about Christian, and I like Christian a lot.
Yeah.
But he has a Matt Hardy problem. If Edge comes to AEW, he's Matt Hardy to Edge's Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
And Christian, and the problem with him going to WWE is WWE wants nothing to do with him.
Well, I just want him there for the one match. Like I don't care after that. They can quit and go back to AEW. They can retire. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. I just think Edge, Christian, Sammy, and KO probably all would love that match, and it would actually be great.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I still think, and I'll be interested on Thursday to hear Dax's podcast probably, or hear what comes out of that. Because I am under the impression that if anything, Edge may go to AEW for a run.
Well, and that's possible too. I think, and I've said it on this show, I think we're going to get those two together soon.
Yes, I do, but I don't think it'll be WWE. It
might be both. Larry Sternshine, our buddy, Claudio and Kingston. Richard Becerra, he's got a list here, and they're mostly WWE. Cody and Roman, Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther, the tag title match. Bianca and Asuka.
Okay.
Braun and Mello. The North American title match you mentioned, the ROH ladder match. He also mentions Negro Casas and Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, I almost mentioned that one. I'm a big Ultimo Dragon guy.
And he's got Vikingo, Commander, and Taurus, and Ibushi and Speedball, which you mentioned as well. Justin Nipper's got your 2 of your picks, Barnett and Thatcher, and Speedball and Ibushi. And Fraser Coffin, Speedball and Ibushi, and the Usos and Stenerico.
Yeah, Bloodsport's always an interesting pay-per-view.
And then we got, just in the Discord, we got a few answers. The big guy, Garrett, Cody and Roman, and the whole Bloodsport card. And Scotty Wrestling, the aforementioned Scott Edwards from the Joshi Show. Roman and Cody, Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. Kota Ibushi and Mike Bailey. Claudio and Eddie. Reach for the Sky. Shibata, enough said. Is this the match you mentioned? Mayu Yamashita and Maki Ito versus Yuka Sakazaki and Mizuki. I don't know where that is, but that sounds awesome.
that's on. Yeah, no, there's a Joshi show.
Okay.
In town.
TJPW, right?
Yeah, that actually, yeah. I should probably put that one on or see when that show is.
And also, I'm assuming on the same show, Rika Tatsumi and Billy Starks.
Yes.
Which sounds fun. And yeah, so that's all the great stuff we got to look forward to. So life hack, $7.95 Fight TV Plus. I think you can get like 10 of these shows.
Oh, good. That's cheaper than the gas to get there. I might do that.
Yeah, I'm going to sign up tomorrow, and it's opening day tomorrow too. So I got to watch the Blue Jays game, and then
an NXT show. Doors open at like 9:15 or something like that in the morning on Saturday, and I'm just like,
the main card starts at 10, right?
$30 luxury suite seats,
Nice.
and I'm thinking about it.
I went last year and I really liked it. The difference in talent between the 5-way women's ladder match last year and the one this year is striking.
It's a chasm.
Yeah, because we had last year, I think we had Io Sky, Mandy, Cora Jade was in it.
I'm actually, you know what? I will also add, because I don't have that many women's matches on there, I will say the 6-woman match on Mania, only because it's a big deal for Io and Dakota.
Oh, the besties and Damage Control.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know, there's 18 women on Mania.
Good.
Yeah, that's really good. 18 women in 4 different matches. I mean, from a few years ago when they
now the angles to build them have sucked, but you know, like I love Asuka and anything she does.
The video packages this week were good.
Yeah, no, I will. That's what they do well there. Is they stick the landing with the video packages.